and there's this great quote that your subconscious will only let you be as successful as you deserve, as you think you deserve to be.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Her Business Elevated podcast. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Risa Haasbroek, and she is a passionate life coach for solopreneurs. She has quite a story to share with us, and I have so many questions for her. I know she has a lot to share and to encourage and motivate the entrepreneurial mom or woman, solopreneur, entrepreneur, mompreneur. I talk to all of you. So I know that she has a lot to share with us. And so thank you so much for being here, Risa.
Thank you for having me, Demetria. I am excited about this.
I am too. And I'd love to hear more about you and your family and kind of some of your favorite pastimes. So share with us about who Risa is.
Okay, so I'm originally from South Africa, and we immigrated to the US in 2015. I have two grown kids now, but then they were teenagers. I homeschooled them. So I'm a Christian. Okay, so homeschooled my kids mainly for faith reasons. And then we came to the US. My husband got a great job here, but we also came here to give our children better opportunities. But then we realized, okay, we are like getting older, so closer to retirement than, halfway there, more than halfway there, and realizing that we probably, with the exchange rate between our country of origin and the US, we won't be able to retire in the US. Okay. And I was like, no, my kids are going to stay here and I have to go 10,000 miles apart. No, I don't want that. And my kids were like, they were late high school. So I decided I wanted to make me some money. Okay. And I wanted to start an online business. So my reasons for starting it was like really, really selfish. And it's like, that's the only aim I had. But I really want to encourage anyone listening to this, whatever desire the Lord puts in your heart. It's like, I want to travel more. I want to fly business class, whatever it is. Do not ignore that desire, because He will take it and work it for the good of you and yours. He's interested in your character. So, but He put it there to get you going. So if you have a desire to start a side hustle or a business, go for it. Don't doubt the desire. He will make it good. And that's exactly what happened to me. So I was a writer, so I knew I had the writing skills. So I developed a writing course for homeschoolers in South Africa, right? That's how I got started. But the mess I made. I made so much work for myself. I had so much to learn. And I was really dumb at the beginning. I would send an email to one person, again and again, the next with exactly the same query from the next one. And then I realized, if I made a blog post about this, I could just send people over there. It's like at the beginning, you are so dumb. You make all these mistakes. So I just kept going. And soon I could see the Lord changing my heart and changing my mission to being much more service oriented. It's like thinking about the woman I served. And I looked up the verse, and it's from Titus, where Paul is telling older women to help younger women with their children. And I was like, I'm doing that. I'm encouraging other homeschoolers, because they struggle and they tell themselves, I'm making a mess of my children's future. What am I doing? And the socialization and all of that. And I was already at the end of their journey and sharing that experience with other moms. I remember I once got this email from a mom. She told me this: always remember that you are a powerful instrument in God's hands. And I was like, I'm walking on sunshine. Ooh. That was so encouraging to me. It's like, yes, now it's really making sense. So I got better and better at that business, going from working 60 hours to only 6 hours a week. Wow. And doubling my income at the same time, because I worked smarter. But it had a lot to do with mindset as well. So that's my story. That was my first online business. But when I realized how important the mindset part of it is, I was like, I want to be a life coach. I want to share with people the power of their mind. And when they change that, how they change their lives. Is there something you want me to add? What are my favorite pastimes or something like that? Or you want to continue to the next
No,
one?
I love this. It's just, I love hearing your journey of how you got started and your transparency with how you didn't have it all together to begin with. You had to learn the things that would make your life easier and get more done with in less time.
Yes.
And so I think that's definitely something that we're going to want to know about on this episode today. We want to hear from you about that. And I'm glad to know about what kept you going and the encouragement that you gave. Phenomenal, because sometimes God places things in our hearts and we ignore it because we think, oh, was that me? Was that just one of my quirky ideas of all the millions of ideas I have? That's just one of the millions. And I don't know if I should pursue that, because what if that's not God? What if that's just me? But God does put these ideas in our hearts and we can't get away from it. And that's a lot of times how we know it's God, because it's almost like a burden. It's a good burden, but it just stays with us and we just keep desiring it. Yeah, it's a pull. And so we know it has to be God. And if he put it there, that he has a way for us to accomplish that. And it's just up to us to find that way and to kind of like walk in that path by seeking him. That's the only way we can find out what to do, is to seek God, because he has our future. So I love everything that you're saying, and about the homeschooling, how you started with that. And I kind of have a similar story. And so I love that. Okay, I know that, we get started a lot of times in business and we're motivated and we're passionate, but we don't always have the right methods or mode of which to get our work done. And we can be overwhelmed with all of the tasks and everything that's ahead of us. It can feel really overwhelming and it can get confusing. And so those are reasons that solopreneurs get stuck. So what are some reasons that you found in working with solopreneurs and that we get stuck? Why do we get stuck? And what's holding us back from moving forward in our business success?
Okay, before we even talk about the tactics, this is the one thing that I discovered for myself, but I saw it with my clients as well, is those limiting beliefs. The things we tell ourselves that we don't even realize we tell ourselves. I'm not good enough. The world is not a safe place. I can't trust other people. I can't trust myself. It's my fault. I should have done something different. It's good to take responsibility, but when you take on responsibility that's not yours, that's not good. Right. So finding those beliefs and like stomping them out, it's like killing them. And I just it's possible. It's possible to get rid of them, because the world and science, it calls it neuroplasticity. But the Bible told us about that for ages. It's like, renew your mind. The Bible is forever telling us, renew your mind. So I don't know if you know Craig Groeschel at all. He's a Christian writer, and he writes a lot about brain science. And it's like, oh, at last neuroscience, caught up with the Bible.
Finally caught up. Yes. It's always been there for us.
It's always been there. So, and that verse, I think it's in Corinthians, where it's like, we take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. So your inner work, your thought work is so important when you're trying to build a business. I think that's perhaps one of the best character developing projects you can be on, is building a business, because you have to get over yourself so many times. You have to remind yourself, I'm in service of the Lord, I'm in service of other people. And your ego gets in the way. Not even your ego, I don't even want to call it that. Your fears, that limiting beliefs you have about yourself. So I think, and there's this great quote that your subconscious will only let you be as successful as you deserve, as you think you deserve to be.
Oh, wow. So that's a good one. Yeah.
If you don't deserve it. So it's like when you find yourself coming up against any kind of glass ceiling or whatever ceiling, question your thoughts. What are the beliefs that are holding you back? And start there. Work on that.
Limiting beliefs. And I love how you apply scripture to that, how you say, like, this has already been here in the Bible for us. It's already been here. So we're hearing a lot of new, sort of newish, like, self-talk and self-development ideas of limiting beliefs and getting past all those, getting past mental blocks. But all of those answers are already in the Bible for us.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, renewing our minds. And so I think this is such a refreshing reminder for solopreneurs of faith to constantly remind ourselves that we're to renew our minds. We forget, we get distracted, we get discouraged, we get intimidated, all of those feelings of fear, they do rise up and daily that we have to deal with those
Yes.
feelings. But to renew our minds with the word, we get refreshed and we get strength to continue. So thank you for reminding us of that it's all, the answers are there.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I was reading on your website about some of the ideas that you have, like you help to coach women, you help to coach entrepreneurs. One of them was 3 legs that it takes to build a booming business. And I am so curious about what that is. What are those 3 legs that help to build a successful business?
Okay, in my opinion, that's like, that's how I came up with it. It's the being an expert at something. What is it that you know? What is it that you can sell to other people? And it could be a product or a service. And then the middle one is what your marketing skills. How good are you on marketing? You have to learn how to sell. And then the third one is what we've been talking about so far, the mindset part. Can I quickly just say something about the expert part? I just want to change to all your listeners. We sometimes think you have to be like experty at something before you can sell to someone. But my daughter told me this story the other day, a YouTube video she watched. It's this guy saying he was wondering if he should buy gold, as an investment. And he talked to this guy, and the guy said, "Oh, you should totally invest in gold." And he said, "How do I do that?" And he said, "Well, I bought 3 gold mines this year." And he was like, "I was thinking of buying a few coins. What are you talking about? Mines?" It's like, no. Wow. And this guy was so far removed from his experience that he couldn't relate to him at all. Wow. We sometimes need someone that's just a few steps ahead of us. And that's good. That is you. That is all of your listeners. Yes. We know things that we've done, things that other people haven't done. And we don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to be buying gold mines to tell people just how to buy gold coins. It's like, if you are a few steps ahead of your audience, you are an expert. So don't get tripped on over the word expert. You are an expert. You just forget that.
That's good. We need that reminder, because there are so many people right now listening, I'm pretty sure, because I was one of those people not long ago that felt like, if I can just get that extra training, if I can just get that extra, bit of information, I'll feel more confident to declare that this is my business, right? But it's exactly what you said. There are people that are just a few steps behind me that just need a little help along the way. And I've got that information already, right? And I can help them now where I am. And I think that's powerful. I love that analogy, or that's the story of the gold mine. Like, it just needed someone to learn about coins. You didn't need to know about the whole gold mine. So it's just being a few steps ahead. And I think oftentimes we're afraid to call ourselves an expert because we feel like, well, we don't know enough, because we see the people that are way ahead of us. Oh, those are the experts, but we're not there yet. So we're afraid to say, I do still have something that I can share with others who are not too far away from where I am. And that just makes it more applicable, more easy, that we can help. And it's going back to what you said earlier, servanthood. It's about being of service to people. And you don't have to, be way over here.
No.
You be where you are, start with where you are, use what's in your hands, use what's available to you, and be of service to those right in your vicinity, because they need your help.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Well, you also talked about, and thank you for the three legs that you shared with us too of success in business. So many solopreneurs are not finding ways to move that needle forward because we talked earlier about kind of being stuck in a cycle of tasks, right? And we throw the word productivity around a lot, but what does that really mean, right? Does that mean keeping busy, checking off all the check boxes every day? We did this, all of our 10 tasks, and we're done for the day. Like, how we think about productivity makes a big difference in where we're going in the future. And, a year from now, where do we want to be? So how can solopreneurs who wear all the hats, that's why we call ourselves solopreneurs, because we're
Yes.
doing so much in our business. And so how do we eliminate that wasted time that we can tend to do? How do we even cut back on our hours the way you did? Because I'd love to hear how you did that. And that way we're more productive in business. So how did you do it, and how can we do it?
Okay, I have 3 steps, but I just wanted to say something general first, share something
Mhm.
about me. I think sometimes we do things that feel easy and comfortable. And
Mhm.
may I share an example? I don't know if you can relate to this because you've been in the online space since when? 2005, isn't it?
Yes.
So
It's been
perhaps
a
you
little
won't,
time.
perhaps this will sound strange to you, but for me, it's easy to write things. I'm a writer, so I write articles and it's me behind my computer all alone and I feel good about myself and I write. But I started a podcast at the beginning of the year. I need reviews for my podcasts. So I need to reach out to people and ask people who I know who are actually listening. And you probably teach people that in that podcasting course of yours, right? We need
Yes.
reviews.
Reach
So
out. Yeah.
I need to reach out and ask them for reviews, but I'm putting it off. It's like I'd rather write another blog post or another article or another email than because they can tell me no, right? Or they can just ignore my
Right.
request. And so it feels uncomfortable. So it's sometimes really thinking about the tasks we are doing that are bigger, but they are emotionally bigger. They don't necessarily take more time, but they will have a bigger impact. So
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, and then I would like to share the 3 baskets that I kind of help people to where should they focus. But do you have anything to
Right.
share about my discomfort?
I think that's one of the major things for me also is there are things that are more comfortable for me to do than others, and we do tend to gravitate towards the easier tasks because we know, oh, I can do that, right? And I can easily check that off my list. The things that I'm procrastinating on are things that intimidate me that I haven't touched in 5 years
Will you
because
share? Are
I
you
have my
willing to
list.
share that? I
Yeah,
was
I have my list of things that so I'm needing to so I've created a few courses, but I've never fully gotten into the Facebook ads and launches, big course launches, so afraid of that. And I've taken courses about it, about how to do a big launch and how to get those ads really. And I'm so afraid to do the ads. I'm so afraid to run ads. And I just feel like, well, if I run an ad, then what if I get all kinds of nasty comments underneath the ad? Like, how do I respond to that? Do I need a team of people responding to my ads? So many questions and so many unknowns for me that is one of my fears that is so easy for other people because they know ads and it's easy for them and they've got their routines and systems going. I don't have that set up yet. And so that's part of the reason that my needle hasn't moved the way it could. Once I get those ads rolling, I'm pretty sure things are going to move a lot quicker for me, but it's just that mental block for running the ads. So
but
you're so right.
you've been online for almost more than a decade now. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you get nasty comments all the time.
Yeah, I do. But it's something about those ads because I'm paying for the ads.
So you already know how to deal with it. It's so funny
Right.
how we
Yeah,
just put
it's just
ourselves there.
amazing the things that our minds get hung up on that we can't get past it, even though we know we can manage it,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
It's just it's up here. Yeah.
I know, but now you know. Now you're going to run those ads right next week.
Yes, now I'm held accountable. I have to run some ads.
It's on the
In
air.
fact, I have a I have a Facebook ads course that I purchased over the holidays so that I wouldn't run away from it in 2023.
Okay.
So one of the things it's so funny. I was just writing in my journal right before I got on the call with you that today I have to take my Facebook ads course, like at least the first module, so that I'll get past that.
So
Yeah.
you are onto yourself, just like
I
me.
know. Yeah.
If I get off this call, I'm going to reach out to 3 friends and ask them to give me a review. How's that?
There you go. There you go. Do that. And you do the reviews and I'll do my ads. And so that's how we move forward. We have to have accountability. I joined another group as well for more accountability. And that's something that I hadn't done before, at least consistently. So I'm part of this group. It's a group that, it's not cheap, but it's something we do to keep each other accountable. We take mastermind classes together. We do group calls and co-working. And so that's also helping me to move forward. But do you have any other suggestions for how solopreneurs can move?
I like to divide it, especially at the beginning of a business, to divide the kind of tasks that you need to do in 3 categories. And if you can divide your time between the 3 of them, in the first place, you have to get in front of more people. How do you tell more people that you exist, that you offer this product, that you offer this service? You have to get in front of more people. And what we are doing here is an example of that, right? But it's posting on Facebook, on Instagram, making YouTube videos. It's talking to people and telling them, hi, listen, this is me, this is what I do. So get in front of more people. The second part is that you learn to describe what it is that you do. How do you help them? And at the beginning, you're going to make a mess of this, and it's the message, the explanation is not going to land because you're not so clear exactly on what you do, but you have to keep practicing. And once again, making videos and making podcasts and putting on social media, explaining how you help people. And then that third part is the calls to action. How do you get people to engage with you? Like your posts, it can be as easy as that. Share your post or DM you with, with download my freebie or whatever. But eventually you want to the place where you tell them, buy my stuff. And it feels scary, but if you pay attention to those 3 things, you will move the needle.
And it sounds so simple, right? There's 3 steps, but there's action behind it that it's a simple process, but we've got to get moving by being intentional. Okay, today I'm going to work on the first step, today the second, then the third, and so forth, and making a plan. I think that's so important. Say this week, I'm going to make sure I have my program, I know exactly what I'm offering, and I have my call to action next week, or whatever our scheduling is, how we want to pan that out. But knowing, like you said, what we offer and how to word that in a way that's succinct so people know exactly what we do. And then the call to action is so important, because sometimes we just, we put our material up there, our courses, our products, our services, but we're just like, oh, it's there, it's there. People can see it, they can add it to their shopping cart or whatever.
Yeah, you actually have to tell them, put this in your shopping cart. You actually
sign up, right? Join right here. Yeah, it's very important. So I think those are key aspects to what it takes to move forward in business, to run a successful business. Mindset is, I think, probably the one theme of today's episode with you, our interview together, is just mindset. If we can get past our mental hangups, I think that we go forward really fast, because all the hang-up is in our mind. And once that is cleared up, I think we'll just start progressing quickly. That's what I think.
I hope, so, definitely.
Yeah. So I know that you offer coaching. I'd love to hear about what you offer, your products or services for solopreneurs.
Okay, so mine is mostly services. I love to work with people one-on-one and really look at their minds. I call myself a thinking partner for solopreneurs. So they would come with a problem, or they don't even realize how they are like painting themselves in a corner. And then we start talking. And then they realize, oh, the way that I've been thinking about this is not very empowering. So seeing that, it's one of the nicest parts of my work. I'm like, I'm getting paid to do this. This is so good. So that part of it, it's like I like to work one-on-one with people and showing them. The first thing is to get over the 4 Fs, as they say it. It's like flight, fight, freeze, or fawn. It's like fawn is like when you get people pleasing, when you just like being nice. So the 4, it's your brain trying to protect you, just seeing what happens, getting out of that kind of biological response where you just shut down, or you're ready to fight, or you just want to hide. And then the next step is, what do you tell yourself? What are the empowering sentences you tell yourself to get the energy, to get the good feelings, so that you can problem solve from your prefrontal of the best part of your brain, come up with solutions and the plans, and have the energy and the excitement and the passion to keep going. So it's almost like a cycle. Every week I have to get the entrepreneurs out of that cycle again, till we've done it enough times that they can do it themselves. But they will always fall back to the amygdala, the part of their brain that freaks out. Always, it will always happen, even if you're at $1 million. And just the art is to get yourself out of that cycle faster and faster. And that is when you get really successful.
Wow. Sounds like you have like the scientific understanding of how this all works, how the brain works, how the human emotion works, all of that. And you also have the patience. I can see you're very patient, and you're also very charming and energetic. So that makes for a wonderful coach. I can just see that with you already. And I love that about you, what I'm seeing and hearing from you. It just sounds so encouraging. It just sounds like you would be an awesome coach to work with. So yes, everybody, Risa Haasbroek, and you're coaching, you offer one-on-one coaching, you said, right?
Yes, for 10 weeks, but I often have specials where, like, when they join up, I could make it 15 weeks, so it's like, I'm always like thinking of ways that I can serve people better, but it's for a limited time, because I don't want them to get dependent on me. I want to empower them so that they get the mindset thing for themselves.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Empowerment. Yes. Yes. So how can our listeners reach out to you for more information and to sign up for a coaching session? How do they reach you?
If they just go to my website, risaforcoaching.com, they will find there's a tab there, talk to me or work with me, that they can click on and make that appointment. But it's Risa4coaching.com. But I think we will put the link in the show notes. Yes.
We will for sure add the link to Risa4coaching.com.
And I use the same handle on Instagram. I think that's where I post most of the time, is on Instagram. So people are more than welcome to follow me there as well.
Okay. So we'll add your website URL, your Instagram, any social handles. And thank you so much for joining us today, for being such an encouragement to us. And we thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, Demetria.